Lo siento para esto. Now, speaking to you, hopefully you can hear me. Argentino, and the Argentine, it is half Irish. People say, what percentage of white are you? Well, 100%. What percentage of Latino are you? 100%. Wait, what? I mean Hispanic. 100%. It does not make sense to the North Americans. But those of us, anybody in Brazil, Uruguay, Argentina, the big cities of Colombia, maybe Cubans. I'll say Cubans instead of Cubanos. Understand exactly. Like, okay, you family from Argentina, the corridor, Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay. They say, oh, yeah, but I'm half Irish. And they go, oh, okay. And then they see my dad, and they see pictures of my grandmother, who's mestiza. And they're like, oh, yeah, you're one of the stealth. You're one of them said, you're a stealth spick. You know, which actually is kind of funny. It's kind of true. There's a story. Everybody knows the story. How I got into trouble when I was sitting with the whites, and then I mentioned I was from Argentina, and the Mexicans came over and said, "You don't sit with the whites anymore." And this was in a place where not many people want to be, and you get fed the similar food 3 times a day at the exact same time, and then you have to share a let's just say a room with another human being until the magnetic lock doors pop open, and then you sit around and either play cards or watch TV, which is either Univision or BET or the ball game. But I digress. Yeah. So I almost forgot what I was going to talk about there. But yeah, the cultural destruction that we've been seeing at the hands of the Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses, Anglo-America. This is from not so much Canada, but from the United States, and it's begun by the white supremacist Mormons and the scam known as Jehovah's Witnesses, who have infected Hispanic people and Latino people to destroy their culture, because Roman Catholicism, the practices, the holidays, the festivals, the outlook, the reason why we like sex so much and we like wearing sexy clothing, at least the women really like it, even though people say, oh, they're like whores. No, it's just the way the women dress, you know, in mini falda and mini skirt and high heels, and they want to look beautiful, you know, and they are. But yeah, you know, anglicizing these places and destroying our culture. It's cultural genocide is what it is. And I'm not myself. I don't follow the Pope. I'm not part of the Roman Catholic Church. I'm Catholic by culture, though. Eastern Orthodox, to tell you the truth, which we revered the Virgin Mary and the saints. So okay, and that was the only way I could preserve my culture. I couldn't join any other. I couldn't join a church or be an atheist. Yeah, you have to have reverence for the saints and the Virgin Mary, especially Guadalupe, or the apparition of Guadalajara, or the Rosario, which there's not only in Lourdes but in Mexico. But yes, this is necessary to keep our culture. Now the Anglo whites have given up their culture. They're doing everything in their universities to destroy it. What can we do? Well, we need to hold firm, just like the Cristeros. Let's remember Cristeros. Viva Cristo Rey. I almost sounded like a white man there. Viva Cristo Rey. No, I even sounded worse. Sorry, I have a dry mouth. I took a medication, gave me a dry mouth, so I might as well be saying, yo no quiero una tortilla. I mean, yeah, it's terrible, but this is the way we and I don't know how to get through to people. This is the way we preserve it, man. And people say, oh, that Mexican guy's a criminal and he still wears the Virgin Mary. Yeah. Doesn't matter what you do. Like, if I were to murder somebody, does that mean I no longer believe in God or the resurrection or the saints? Or no. Or that guy, if you make fun of the Virgin of Guadalupe, he'll beat you up. Well, yeah, that's his mother you're talking about. That's a symbol of his culture. That's many men died for that. Actually, for 40 years in Mexico, it was illegal. Oh, there's a coyote. A coyote just crossed the road. It was illegal to even have a picture, and people would be executed, just shot on sight, especially under Calles in the 1920s. And it wasn't until the great Manuel Camacho that he said, I am a believer. And he said this in 1940. And the law wasn't repealed until, part of it wasn't repealed until 1976. And the other part wasn't repealed until 1996. That the government of Mexico was an anti-Catholic state. But the people said, fuck that, and rebelled. Yeah, Mexicans are more quiet than the rest of Latin America, and they tend to think like, oh, all Latinos look like us, even though they must watch Univision and Telemundo and see like, oh, those are all like the white, not white and American, not Anglo, not Anglos, but Europeans, not whites. Me, I know I confuse you because I'm half Irish again. Yeah, but not Anglo. But yeah, you try to say, oh yeah, Uruguay, Brazil, Argentina. Oh, they don't have, they just look Mexican. And this is not coming from Mexico. This is coming from the stupid culture that grew up in Los Angeles, in LA. And that's, unfortunately, that's infected Central America. Trust me, what Americans think of Mexican culture is not Mexican culture. It's American culture born in LA. It's not even from the Tejanos. It's born in LA. And then it was pushed back onto places like Salvador because of the Salvadoran Civil War, which America was very responsible for. Again, attacking the priests, murdering Archbishop Oscar Romero, raping the nuns, killing them. Massacring priests and poor people and children because they were forwarding ideas of land reform and what was considered communism. And even the Sandinista helped them out. But people try to say, and I even see people like that fucker George Lopez try to say, oh, this is our culture, this is our Latino culture. No, that's not it. That is the Irish gang culture that was adopted by black people, that was then adopted by Mexicans in the United States, in Los Angeles. This is not native to Latin America. This is a perversion at the hands of the Anglos and the Jews. I don't mean to be, I'm not saying a racist thing, but the ones that don't believe in God, the Jews that believe in God, fine, they don't do this stuff, but I'm talking about the cynical forces at the top of white power, basically. White power is not done by Italians or the Irish or the Poles. I mean, they're Catholic, for God's sake. It's done by a group of people. And it's not done by all the whites or even all the Anglos. But white power, I mean, it's the Anglo and the Jew. Not all Jews, not all Anglos, but the ones at the top. And these are the ones that control. And they pumped out this comically Hollywood created in the movies, like the movie Colors, and pumped it out to these places. And also through the School of the Americas taught them that human life meant nothing, which was never a belief of any mestizo people in Latin America. And we have these violent, horrid gangs, and people try to think that that's what it means to be a Central American or a Mexican, or that that's indigenous. It's not. And thankfully that Brazil, Uruguay, and Argentina has been saved from this nonsense largely. Yeah, hey, there's a cop, so I need to get off this. Peace to you. Hopefully they don't pull me over. Tell me if you agree or not. And, peace to all the Latinos out there, and even if you're not, peace and love to you. Again, like, the only way to love your own race is to actually respect and care about everybody else's. It's just the ones that want to hurt us that I don't like.